Hi Faith Formation families, it's Miss Abdallah, and this is the newsletter for the week of February 18th. And of course, most of you are either already on break or getting ready to head out for winter break, so you'll notice there's no classes this week. That includes grade 10 through 12. The presenter that we were going to have presenting is not able to do that this month, and also many of you have told me you're going away for winter break, so I apologize for that. I was working around one schedule, didn't realize the school break at the time that we planned this, and now it doesn't work for anybody. So we're going to move that to March. We're going to figure out a time that works and switch the day too, because a lot of the feedback I'm getting is that Saturdays from all the grades tend to be the busiest days now for families because everybody's trying to make up for lost time. We've got sports, we've got clubs, we've got all kinds of things happening on Saturdays that just make it really hectic for families to try to fit yet another faith formation thing in. So looking at that, I'm going to switch some things around for March, see if that fits schedules better, and then if not, we'll just keep tweaking till we can get a sweet spot that'll help make things easier for all of you, because I know this is just a crazy time for everybody, which has been the case for 2 years now, but we'll get there. Just a quick note of thank you to those of you that have participated in the parent synod meetings. One of the things that was kind of brought up a few times is that parents didn't feel they really knew what the synod was. So I apologize that I didn't make that more clear for people, or that somehow it didn't get communicated effectively. But really what the synod means is just gathering information, okay? Just a chance for us to listen as parish staff, as people in ministry, as clerics, whatever position the people in the administrative side of church. It was our opportunity to really listen to what people in the pews are thinking, what's going on with their lives. It's no secret that the whole world right now has transitioned in many ways. The pandemic, where our society is, where our politics are, where our communities are, everything has kind of flipped upside down a little bit, and our priorities are all different now than they were before all of this started. So I think Pope Francis's wisdom in doing this is not only to address real things that need to be addressed in our faith communities, but also really gave us an invitation to just stop everything and listen to what is going on with everyone, so that we can move forward together, journeying together to make things better, to make things easier, to address the new concerns that have popped up for our families and our particular groups that have been meeting. So that's really all it is, and what has happened so far has been wonderful. We've had some amazing feedback. I am a mom myself and thought I had a real finger on the pulse of what was going on for families, and every single synod discussion that I have been a part of has helped me to understand yet another perspective, even within a group that I self-identify with. So it's so valuable. Even I know, and we've also heard this, right, that, well, we'll have to wait forever for Rome to change anything, and, you know, all this stuff, which, yeah, the church takes a really long time to make sweeping changes sometimes, and it will take time, because all this data goes to the bishops, and the bishops go to the USCCB takes it to the Pope, and then they will all have another synod in October. I mean, so it's not immediate changes in that regard. But what's valuable for us as a local community, a parish community within our own diocese, is to really know where everybody's at now, so that we can start those changes that are within our power to change, to just help build up our community even more. So thank you to those of you that did take the time to give that input. For those of you that didn't quite understand what was going on, if you still want to give input, please email me, and I will be willing to make any concession, whether that's a Zoom meeting or set up another in-person meeting, Or there is the option on the Diocese of Rochester website, dor.org. If you go on there and you go all the way down on the main page, there's a way for you to put your input in directly, right to the web page. And again, your name doesn't get identified with the feedback that comes in. All that gets recorded is male, female, religious identity, because we have Catholics, non-Catholics. Everybody's been invited to take this survey, okay? Practicing, non-practicing, and then your age group, because it's helpful to know what people in the 30 to 40-year-old range are thinking compared to the 70 to 80-year-old, right? I mean, there's all these different levels, but names are not submitted. It's just the demographics, okay? So feel free to go on there and submit your thoughts directly. Just what's concerning you about the church. What are things that you'd like to see some areas of change, and things like that. Okay, so this is also helpful for a new bishop that's coming in. Okay, because our current bishop has submitted his resignation and is just awaiting Pope Francis to replace him. So the new bishop coming in will get this information as well to be able to know how best to direct our communities moving forward. Again, in light of waiting for, maybe some overall throughout the organization part of church to change, but the community of believers and our relationship with each other and our relationship with Jesus, that's all within our control, right? So we're trying to build up our communities. It's also helpful for me to know how to direct faith formation. I know that I have spent the last week and continue to plan to do that this week, really trying to prayerfully assess how to move forward. What do we do in light of lack of volunteers, lack of catechists, uncertain, dynamics within the schools, and how we pray this is the last wave of COVID, but what happens if it kicks up again, and all these different things. There's so much to look at and so much to pray about, that it's been helpful for me to know from these sessions too, what is the most important for all of you. What means the most? What are the areas that are most concerning? So it's just really been helpful to have feedback all the way around. The whole dynamic of church has changed. We have people that have said to me, well, I don't really go to Mass, I only watch it online. Well, okay, so you're not receiving communion that way, but you're a part of the church. You're praying with us. You're in communion with us. So I think sometimes we kind of count ourselves out, and we really shouldn't be. You're part of our community. So if that pertains to you, please don't feel that way. You count, you matter. You're raising the future of our church too, right? So we want to make sure that everybody's needs are heard and addressed and cared for. And even somebody who's in it, like myself, really missed a lot of things that I didn't even see. So that's really saying something. I work with all of you all the time, and I still didn't think of some of the things that have come up in these discussions. So it's just so important for you to be heard. So if you didn't get a chance, please, I invite you to have those conversations either with me, or we can set up a group. Let me know as to whether we should offer another round of Zoom sessions, or like I said, you can do that on your own. Okay. All right, so that's all I have for this week. Just look below in the newsletter for any of the changes and things that are coming up. We do have some fun things in March, and believe it or not, when we meet again, it'll already be into our Lenten season. So I invite all of you to come to the Ash Wednesday services. I will have all of that in the next newsletter that outlines when things are being held, where you can go in all 4 parishes for Ash Wednesday, and all of the Lenten resources will be available in the narthex of those places at that time. So you'll have ways to supplement at home, ways to pray with us. If you are still not going into buildings and you're still isolating at home, let me know. I can send you digital copies of things. But I think pretty much most of us are still kind of out and about, even if we're not necessarily comfortable staying for Mass. So let me know what your needs are, and we'll meet you where you're at, okay? All right, everyone. Have a wonderful week. I hope you're enjoying your time off. I hope you're making a lot of wonderful memories with your little ones, and we will see you all when we come back. Take care. God bless.